Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, a while ago, when we was talking about the border crisis and how it makes no sense to leave the border open, let's let anybody in here and then try to vet them later on as they get here, you know, from all these different countries, it made no sense. Now, I did say, you know, people have a right, if they come here, you know, legally in the country, I have no problem with that. They come through the right channels. I don't have a problem with that. But the way they did this whole thing with the border crisis, where they were just letting people in here, I already knew that was a recipe for disaster. We starting to see it. Well, we're not starting to see it. We've been seeing it. And a lot of times you keep hearing about a lot of stuff happening with people from Venezuela, you know, migrants from Venezuela. No disrespect to anybody from the country, but I mean, it's not everybody, but I mean, a lot of people are coming over here running from stuff that they did in other countries, my opinion. And a lot of people are sending gang members and stuff over here. And proof of it is one of the gangs they talk about, what's it called, TDA, Tren de Aragua, whatever. We did a story on them about how they was trying to tear up New York City. Well, supposedly, this thing is spreading, and it's all over the place. They're giving these gang members supposedly green lights to shoot law enforcement and stuff. You can say whatever you want to say. If you like people that are in power or the people that's going to come in power sooner or later, somebody goofed up. And somebody just sacrificed the safety of the American citizens for a few dollars in their pocket or another agenda that makes them accumulate more in their thirst of power. Take a look at this story and we'll come back and talk about it.
U.S. officials are on high alert as a notoriously violent prison gang is spreading from coast to coast. Tren de Aragua, or TDA, was born out of Venezuela in a prison and has been linked to crime like this jewelry store heist in Colorado. News Nation obtaining a memo warning law enforcement that an estimated 1,000 TDA members have been given the green light to attack officers. News Nation's Alicia Nieves joins us now live from New York, where these gang members have actually shot at police. Alicia, how widespread is this gang?
Yeah, Anna, good morning. This is a violent Venezuelan gang. It's infiltrated U.S. cities across the country from coast to coast, becoming more brazen and organized, according to authorities. In just the last 2 months, we have had at least 3 major incidents on the West Coast and here back on the East Coast. Just this past week, as a matter of fact, authorities have linked a member of Tren de Aragua's gang members to a violent June jewelry heist in Denver. In nearby Aurora, Colorado, the gang is accused of taking control of a local apartment complex, using it as headquarters of their operation. And the footage you're seeing in a second here actually shows lawyers, or what lawyers representing several apartment complexes say is the gang seizing control of these apartment complexes, leading to gang violence and numerous code violations. Now, throughout the country, police departments, as you noted a moment ago, warned that the gang leaders have given members in the U.S. the green light to shoot officers. And unfortunately, that memo coming after an incident happened already here in New York City in June. As you said a moment ago, 2 NYPD officers were shot by a man living out of a migrant shelter. That man, Bernardo Raul Castro Mata, after his arrest, actually identified himself as a member of Tren de Aragua and allegedly told police that he crossed the U.S. border, came to New York, and when he got to the shelter in the city, the 19-year-old was recruited by the gang to commit robberies and even given a gun. Now, Castro Mata also told investigators that gang leaders actually have been instructing a lot of their members here in the U.S., especially here in New York City, to bring guns into shelters, and they're able to do so relatively easily by utilizing food delivery services because food is not scanned through the security system at these shelters. So this is obviously a growing concern, not only here in New York City, but again, across the country from the West Coast to the East Coast. We do know federal agencies are on this and trying to work with local officials to curb this growing gang activity.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like if that's the weak spot, they need to start scanning the food trucks then as they're coming through. Alicia, thank you so much.
Guys, now you've seen that, and I had said to you guys before that you watch this summer is going to be something, because there were too many people coming over here, and you know, men, as men, when they showed a lot of the migrants, a lot of them was men. They would focus on the women and children, but a lot of these were single men coming by themselves, coming through in droves, meeting with people, with bad intentions. Not everybody, but some of them. Getting introduced to crime as soon as they got over here. Once they get in the building and touch American soil, it's time to set up shop. And you seeing it right now. I had told you. I said, this is going to be the summer. You're going to see some of the craziest stuff. Now you are. People are getting comfortable. Bunch of men coming over here by themselves. What are you seeing? A lot of crime by migrants. Crazy stuff. Ways and customs they do in their country as far as violence and just the way they deal with getting in trouble happening over here. Did you see that video? Them dudes ran up in the jewelry store. It had bars and everything on it. Ran up in there, bust up in it, jumped the counter like it was nothing. Running around like ants, jumping up and down and stuff, just stupid stuff, trying to figure out. And people in the back like, what the hell's going on? Somebody in another country right now that's in charge of this stuff is laughing like they stupid as hell. They should have never let us in there. You think some of them gang members or whatever, when they got over here, they ain't called, yo, we here, we in the building. Oh, yeah, let's set up shop. They raiding migrant shelters. Nobody's coming over here to get themselves in order. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about everybody, but I mean, a lot of these people that are coming over here are just wanting to come in here and take the resources and establish themselves for crime rackets in the United States. Not coming here to better themselves. And it's not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Come on, man. This is what happened when you people in power pick profit over people. Everybody and their mama know that wasn't a good idea to open that border. I remember in the 80s and shit, they was heavy on the border. Like, yo, not letting nobody in here. Now all of a sudden, it can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. You got people standing there, National Guard standing there, and people just coming in droves and they tell them, just let them in here. We'll figure it out. It say we the people. They ain't talking about you. They talking about the people in charge. We the people that make all of these laws and shit. They care nothing about the American people. They don't. That's why nothing really changes. Look at crime. Seriously, look at crime. If anything, they're dialing back the charges on certain crimes and being more lenient when a lot of these crimes, somebody should never be let out of jail. How many times you seeing people getting let out of jail? They think it's sweet. Justice system's a fucking joke nowadays. It is. Hell, people laugh when they commit crimes. No matter how violent it is, they're recording it and laughing when they're doing something to somebody or just stealing. Immoral shit. Now this right here adds to that. It's big business in incarceration and the judicial system. A lot of payouts, a lot of favors being done for each other. You think they care if it's crime or not? Because I want you to think about it. If crime was totally eliminated, you know how many people would lose jobs? They would have to lay people off and all this other stuff, and they couldn't, it would just be a mess. This right here is on purpose. They let these people come in here on purpose from all these different places under the guise of, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Remember last time they was having people, they was dropping migrants off at the craziest places. Martha's Vineyard and stuff like that. Like, come on, I can't even live in Martha. You know how expensive that shit is? Come on. It makes no sense. This is just something that's been accumulating, and you see it coming. You see it coming. The brightest political minds and all of this type of stuff don't mean nothing. Agenda's an agenda, and you'll never know what somebody's agenda is. If I look at you, I can't read what your mind says unless your body language tells me a little bit of what I think you're about to do. These people come in front of us with smiles and handshakes and all this stuff. We'll do this, we'll do that. Once they get in power, they give us an ass to kiss. I ain't feeling this. This should have never happened. And I'm sure they probably had Tren de Aragua here before, but now with the influx, strength in numbers, now you're seeing all this bullshit, scooter crimes, crazy stuff. Just come on, man. We already had enough problems. To bring this more of this stuff in here, And all what I'm trying to say basically is they didn't vet. They didn't have a process in place to vet each one of these people properly. But the greed to bring these poor people in here, coming from poor places, and get them in here to where more taxes and supposedly more votes or whatever could be done. Man, this is stupid. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're an American citizen and somebody do something to you, right? Vicious crime to you or your member of your family, and they from Tren de Aragua or a migrant, because all these crimes that was caused by migrants, how would you feel about the country? You would feel failed, right? They don't think about that when they bring in all these people in here. It ain't like a bunch of doctors and lawyers and nutritionists and all kind of people are coming. These are people that had rough lives. And they're coming to a situation where they got to start from the bottom up. And a lot of them don't want to do that. It's way easier to do evil than good. And the temptation is here. Remember, America is a capitalistic society. And when you bring a bunch of men over here that are sitting in the street and waiting on paperwork, frustrations build. And what desperation does too, people can get in their ear, convince them to do stuff. Did you see the person, the one dude they wheeled in there, his dumb ass, that shot 2 police officers or whatever? I was approached by Tren de Aragua when I first got here. I was recruited and they told me to commit crimes and stuff. And desperation is a thing people exploit. And now he locked up and it's just stupid stuff. You can't tell me you didn't see this coming. Those that are in power. Disgraceful. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.